Hello, now I want to talk to you about your clearance plan. Now it's all very well having learnt the head trash clearance method and decided that you want to start cracking on and doing some clearance, but you need a plan. You need to decide, you need to know how do you move forward with this? What's the roadmap look like? And so I want to talk through some options that you have here to help you kind of take what you've learned and start cracking on and moving forward. So the first one is the random brain dump, which is basically that you can kind of build up slowly over time. So it could be, and this is kind of a little bit of my approach that I take now that I've done a lot of clearance. It's, something happens in day-to-day life and I think, ooh, that really annoyed me. Oh, that was triggering, and I make a note of it. And then it goes on my list. And on my phone, I've got a list of all the things that I need to clear, that I become aware of as I go through day-to-day life. And so, it could be that you could just observe, like look around in your life, just go through life over a couple of days and notice every time you're getting your button pushed and just make a note of it. And then that's it. And then you have a list and you just have to crack on with your list. Okay, so that's like a very basic approach. The difficulty with that approach, if you're just coming to head trash clearance for the first time, is that you might have a very low level of self-awareness. So you might not realise that you're being triggered. You're so caught up in the emotion of it all that you don't have that level of self-awareness to be able to go, oh, that was triggering. Oh, I'm triggered. Oh, that kind of ability to just look at yourself and observe. That will come as you do the clearance. As you do more clearance work, you will raise your level of self-awareness. So I do that now because I'm able to do that, and you will be able to do that, but you might not find that easy straight out the gate. But you might have already done a lot of clearance work and you might be able to just hit the ground running with that one. Entirely up to you. So the other one that we've got, I'm just referring to the book because this is where I've written them all out in the book, is the life sort out. Now, this is great for people that kind of feel like they just want to sort their lives out, and they're kind of, it's January and they've written their New Year's resolutions and they just want to look at this. They like big projects, they like mapping things out, they like being meticulous and organised, and so this is great for people like that, where you kind of look at various aspects of your life and decide that you're really going to start sorting this out. So there's a really popular coaching tool that's used called the Wheel of Life. And you can Google it and you can find images for this all over the internet. And basically this will just break down your life into various facets that are going to be relevant for you. So it could be family, friends, adventure, work, relationships, finance, fun, lots of aspects of life that can be, you can look at that and you can see, well, where am I not succeeding in life in the way that I'd like, and what head trash is responsible. That's basically what we're doing here. And so there's a great, what you do with the wheel is you draw a wheel, and then you carve up your wheel into however many sections you've decided to do your life, and normally it's 6 or 8 because that works really well with a wheel when you cut it up. And then you label each segment, and then you decide how satisfied are you with that element of your life, with that part of your life. So if relationships for you suck and it's a 3 out of 10, then you tend to draw a line quite near the centre. And once you've gone through each of your segments, you kind of have this line that kind of, it starts, maybe it's narrow and then it goes out, and so you have this very messy looking wheel probably at the end. And if you imagine that this was the wheel of which you were moving through life, and it was quite bumpy because some things are a 3, some things are a 6, some things are an 8, and it's all a little bit crazy. And actually the idea with working on something like that is to smoothen out the wheel to start with and then make it bigger. So that can be a useful strategy to take, and it can give you some focus, because sometimes if you've got a lot of head trash, it can be so overwhelming that you're like, oh my goodness, my life's just a mess, I don't know. Whereas if you think, okay, let me just think about what's going on in my relationships, and then you can focus on relationships, go, right, well, at the moment I feel like I'm not being listened to, I feel like I'm being let down a lot, I feel that people don't invite me out as much, or whatever's going on with your relationships, then it helps you to kind of focus and zoom in and really pick those bits apart so you can kind of identify what the head trash bits are. And then again, having the wheel gives you a focus, like where should I start noticing an impact on my life straight away. So that can be a really, really great way to move forward. The difficulty with that is that if you've got a lot of head trash, it can be very easy to kind of come up with this great plan and then not actually do anything. You might start with the first one and then it all falls by the wayside. And so the trick here is maintaining momentum. So yeah, that can be the watch out if you want to do it that way. You might, you could go the all way here and just map out and go, right, this month I'm working on relationship, next month I'm working on this, then I'm working on work. And so by Christmas, I'm going to have my life completely sorted. I'm going to start 20, whatever, next year, all go. So yeah, there are lots of ways that you can manage this, but that can give you another direction to go. Okay, so that's the life sort out. The next one is the big bad emotional clear out. So this is where you focus on the emotions that are really running ragged in your life and just focusing on one area. So it could be stress. You're like, I'm really stressed. I really need to just figure out, lower my levels of stress, lower my levels of anger. If there's one thing that people think you're a really angry person, well, then just work on the things that are making you angry. What's triggering the anger? What's behind the anger? What values are contributing to the anger? Really look at it through the lens of anger or through the lens of stress. And that can give you real focus, because if stress is really affecting you hugely in your life, or anger, whatever it is, or guilt, then by working on everything that's around that particular emotion can really just help for you to notice a lot of difference very quickly in that area of your life that can then have a ripple effect. So that could be a really good way to look, a good way to go about it. And then the final way to go about it is just to be really, really methodical. And I think I've called it the Methodical method. Quite like that name, just because it's got method in twice, is to, look at all your emotional triggers, all your emotions, your values and beliefs that are just messing you up. And just just go through each of those categories in turn. And that can help you, then you've got a list of stuff, and then you can decide, okay, all these triggers, these sit under these values. And by mapping it all together, you can, you might be able to go, oh, look, belief this tied into here, and you can get all carried away and have a little fun with that. I've had some people that go through these exercises that have shared with me these massive big whiteboards they've mapped with all the stuff going on. It's brilliant. So yeah, that can also be a very helpful approach. So those are basically 4 approaches that you can use that can help you to start cracking on with your head trash clearance. What I don't want this to be is this kind of big deal that you just end up not doing anything with, and that you've learnt the technique and you've tried it twice and you're like, whoa. Because really you've just got to, the only way that you're going to notice anything happening and changing in your life is by doing the work. And sometimes it helps to have a structure and something to follow. So that's what I hope that this video will help you with, is to give you a bit of a plan so that you can crack on with clearing your head trash and getting that clarity, calmness, confidence and peace in your life and work that you were seeking when you wanted to do this work. Okay, good luck with it.